What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of 30NSG, or the Daily Grind on 30NSG. On today's show, we're going to be covering a couple of videos today. It's Thursday. I figured we do the podcast in the evening, so I don't want to cover too many stories because then we do it again this evening. So we're going to watch some videos. We got one video, which is the Zoe Lawton Lawless joins the Suicide Squad cutscenes, about 3 minutes long. We're going to watch that. We're going to watch the Unreal Engine 5.5 Megalights tech demo. That's about five and a half minutes, almost 6 minutes. I'm going to show you a channel called Demon Flying Fox, which is an 100% AI made channel. I'm going to show you the content that they're creating. There's some Star Wars stuff and Harry Potter things, and it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So we're going to show you that as well. And then we have a video from Greg Owen called The Questions We Keep Asking. So we're going to go over that as well on today's show. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We cover news stories, entertainment stories, gaming stories, watch videos, react to videos. If you like that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do podcasts on this tonight. Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We also do another podcast called Chatting With. When I have a guest, we do that on Wednesday nights, and then we also do gameplays Mondays and Tuesdays. And when we're not doing a podcast on Wednesday, we do Shooting the Shit with Sarge, where we just play video games, shoot some stuff while we're shooting some shit. So, how's everyone doing? What's going on? Just Haley. What's going on, Roic? Jazzer, 90, Jason, Kylo, Crowded, Wonder Rose, Robert Jones. Good morning. Good morning. My mic moving? No. All right. Have you seen the AI music channel that makes oldies about current topics? I have not. I have not. Oh, that's what I have to do. There's another program. I got to find that. I got to find it. Where you can take anything, put it in, and it does a podcast format where a man and a woman talk, but they're not real. They're AI. It's crazy. What's going on, Vandal? Morning, Lone Wolf. Come on, Kraken. Right? It's insane. It's insane. But let's start off with everyone's favorite Suicide Squad. Right? They got Zoe Lawton, okay, inside the game. Okay. So this is a video that's the cutscene from the game. So if you're playing the game, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So here's your preemptive warning. I don't want to spoil it for you. Nobody's playing it. There's like 200 people, maybe 300 people playing it on Steam. Maybe double that on console. Who knows? Okay. But we're going to show it to you and save you time. We're going to save you time. This video comes from a channel called Ben Gunn. Okay, so he's got the clip here of Zoe Lawton's Lawless joins the Suicide Squad. Okay, so let's watch it. Let's watch it, shall we? And let me make sure it's up volume. We're at the full thing. We'll do normal speed.
Listen, we go in there. We tell Waller we're not letting her do that to any kid. Any more kids.
Welcome to Task Force X, Zoe Lawton.
Ugh, here we go.
This is low. Even for you, Waller.
Hello? I'm right here?
Did I notice it in the beginning? Hold on a second. She is voluntarily signing up for the Suicide Squad, where everybody else was forced. Everybody else was forced, right? Is that what I'm looking at here? All right, let's continue.
Hello? I'm right here? Ugh, that is so like you to go right past me.
I haven't asked anyone to do anything I wouldn't do myself in this situation. I certainly haven't compromised my morals. Maybe you're just projecting.
Zoe is 13 years old. You can't just...
Dad! I'm 18.
You act like you're 13. Just saying. Just saying.
This is my choice, okay? I'm doing what feels right, which I thought you'd be all about. and I definitely do know what I'm getting into, okay?
Yeah, girl. Don't let your dad tell you what to do.
Mm-mm. That's right.
Rebel.
Your dad's right. You can't go making life-altering decisions like that. I didn't listen to my old man. You want to end up like me?
Have you ever even seen the bomb in your heads? Because I've gone over full schematics, and according to my information, y'all are the ones who let a shady government agency strip you entirely of your rights. You let them inject you with a thing you didn't understand. Like, at all.
This writing's terrible. This writing is terrible.
And you ran headfirst into literally an apocalyptic war zone. Like, with explosion and destruction and everything.
In my defense, I thought it was the best way to see you again. These fools...
Dad! Please, this is important.
Okay. He literally took the bomb and put it in his head because he wanted to protect his kid, right? Because he was like, I got to save the world, and this is what I got to do what I did. And she's like, Dad, this is my time. It's not about you, Dad. It's about me, okay? I'm having a speech right now. Can you just stop trying to ruin this for me? God. Embarrassing me in front of strangers.
Okay, your bodily autonomy, right? I mean, what is even keeping you here?
Ooh, largely fear of our boss. And you, progeny of Floyd Lawton, why do you fight?
How many people get to say that they robbed an alien colonizer right under his nose and then kicked his ass? Basically, just me.
See, this isn't something you can just undo. Like...
Didn't hurt any more than my first tattoo.
You have a tattoo? You have more than one? Girl, you hate needles!
Hope it's not for an ex.
Tattoos are
So, it's so bad.
passage.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Roic.
Thanks
The straps on the
already.
back that are like, you're talking about these things right here. Hold on, let me see. There was a shot. I mean, obviously it's nitpicking, but they're like stiff as like the starch in them is really bad.
And destruction and everything.
In my defense...
Yeah, you'll see them. Hold
I
on.
thought it was the best way to see you again. These fools...
Dad! Please, this is important. Okay, your bodily autonomy, right? I mean, what is even keeping you here?
Ooh, largely fear of our boss. And you, progeny of Floyd Lawton, why do you fight?
How many people get to say that
Yeah,
they
look at the straps. They're like stiff as boards.
robbed an alien colonizer right under his nose and
See, look at them. They're completely like stiff, like they're like planks of wood.
then kicked his ass? Basically, just me.
See, this isn't something you can just undo. Like...
Didn't hurt any more than my first tattoo.
You have a tattoo? You have more than one? Girl, you hate needles!
Hope it's not for an ex.
Tattoos are a rite of passage.
Ink's already dry. Colonel Flag.
What's the Wi-Fi password, General Boy Scout?
I like that they're showing you that these is a group of organized organization, and that this 18-year-old kid is obviously smarter than all of these adults in the room, and she's badass.
Just give me a few. I'll figure it out for myself.
That's my girl.
Man, that is something. How's that? Again, we talk about how the writing for a lot of stuff is terrible, right? The writing is terrible in a lot of this video games, television shows, and films. And this is one of the reasons that it doesn't do well. Now, for video games, the gameplay wasn't bad, right? We played Suicide Squad. I thought the story was decent. I didn't think it was fantastic. But the Karen Frost, I still call her Karen Frost. I don't care what her name is. That's right. I'm breaking it down to that. Karen Frost's cutscene was terrible. This one is worse than that one. The writing is just absolutely horrendous, and I'm glad I'm not continuing playing this game. We might go back to it when it comes out completely, and then they put it to where you don't need online anymore. Maybe we'll check it out by then, because that means they'll be done supporting it, and all the bugs and stuff will be out of it. All the rest of the stuff will be out of it. Everything will be in the game, and then maybe we'll go back and check it out. Maybe, but yeah, that is cringe AF. That is cringe AF. Jason says, remember, I got called a hater and a Debbie Downer for how much I was shit-talking this game. Guess I was right all along. Sure, hindsight's always 20/20, Jason, right? We can all make predictions. I make predictions all the time, and then I become correct. So congratulations. Everyone give a round of applause for Jason. Jason is correct. Let's give a round of applause for Jason. Sarge says, cringe, and more teen cringe in an adult story. Travis says, it's so bad that I'm going to write Sony a thank you letter for taking the game away. Even if it was free to play, it would still be terrible. Seeker of the Matrix says, do you still play Suicide Squads? No, I haven't played it. We played it up until the Joker content came out. When Karen Freeze came into the game, we tried it. We played it for maybe an hour, and I was like, nope, I'm good. Come on, Jay. Kylo says tattoos are a rite of passage. Sarge says she's totally badass. Like, level of Peter Parker badass. Kylo says, I cannot believe they all gave the green light to release that. I'm so tired of the cringe dialogue in games. Feels like that. Well, here, look. Maybe they're making it for all these fans out there that are playing the game right now. Let's go look of the teenage youth playing Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League right now on PC, right? Because that's the only numbers that we can look at, right? The youth that's playing this right now, that they're marketing towards, is a huge player base. Huge player base. Right? They're really looking for that wide range of clientele to market to. And they're all on PC, as you can tell. Even on console. Let's just be reasonable here, right? When we look at games that are popular and we look at the Steam numbers, and then when you look, obviously we can't look at the numbers on console. But when you look at games that are popular on Steam or not popular, it's usually a percentage. Let's say it's like 20 or 30%. Again, I'm just roughly saying a number. Okay, so if it's 200 people roughly here, okay, so what is it? 3 times? 5 times? So what do we got? 1,000 people playing maybe on PlayStation? Let's say 2,000 on PlayStation, because they have more people that have a console over there, right? Then you have on Xbox, let's say you have an additional 500, maybe 1,000. So let's just give them around about 3,000 total on console plus this, right? And we're being very generous right now. Very generous. So, like, what clientele? Who are they marketing it for? Who is this game for? It's not for gamers, I'll tell you that. Right? Is it for the diehard DC fans? Because the diehard DC fans are pissed off at the game, right? And then on top of that, the people that are diehard DC fans don't like the swapping of characters and changing of characters. So who is this for? Right? Who is this for? All 3.5 people. Jason says it's common pattern. Modern superhero content writing is at the top of the slop pile. Yeah, it's a shame. Like, look, I'm not saying there's like award-winning all comics and stuff, Jason, that came out that are like awesome writing, right? Obviously, there's always good and bad writing, right? There's always good and bad writing. But it feels like, again, just my opinion, okay? It feels like that the stuff that was popular for people that liked nerdy things in the past got taken by people that didn't like those nerdy things. and then made a shit ton of money off of these things, and then also shit on the thing that they didn't like when they were younger, got a hold of it, and then shit on it more while making money off the people that loved it. Right? A lot of these people that are writing stories for comic book, movies, TV shows, they just don't know. They just don't understand why we liked it. They just don't understand why it was popular for that niche market when we were kids or young adults, right? I would agree with you, Crowded. I've worked on plenty of things that I have a separate name that I put on my credits because I don't want it attached to my resume. Right? Plenty of things that you're just like, you work it to get the money, but you don't work it to put it on your resume. I wouldn't even admit that I worked for the company. Be like, what did you do for the last 5 years? Be like, I was unemployed. Want to get back in the workforce. It says here you're an animator. What companies did you work for? Oh, I worked for this, and there's a gap. There's a gap between for 5 years. What happened? Travis says it's their way of getting revenge on us because more people care about gaming and superheroes than a concussion call. Sure, or concussion ball is what you were going to say. I don't know if it's specifically people that played sports or the jocks or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, Travis, that people that made fun of people that liked certain things then became, in position of power where they could take the things that they hated and be like, you know what? Because there are vindictive people out there. I'm not saying everyone's vindictive, right? But there are vindictive people that get into positions and change the landscape of things. Like, I know somebody that wants so revenge, the long game of her getting back at somebody that I know, literally went through a whole range of things just so she could be like, aha, 15 years later. I shit you not. If someone has something, motivation to do something, they'll do it. And this is a $100 billion industry. This is much more money than anything else before. Randall says they don't understand the character. They're writing bad writing. Yeah. Can you tell us one what, Jones? I'm sorry. Oh, like a film that I worked on? I can't even remember the name of the actual film. They've changed the name so many times. I honestly forget what the name of it is. It was a really shitty, low budget, horror film. Okay? Which is a different horror film that I worked on that's coming out 15 years after I worked on it. I forget what it was. It was so bad. Okay? And at the time that the movie was being made, it was just I needed a paycheck. And they were paying good. So I did, but it was an unorganized chaos of a film shoot. I was like, these people don't know their fucking ass from their elbows. It was just bad. I've never worked on a porn film, on set, but I did edit porn. And let me tell you, you got to elongate and go back to a lot of shots. We're talking like 20 years ago, 20, 25 years ago. What's going on, Argus? What's going on, Dolphin? Travis says the new horror movie Escape from the Diddler. We were talking about that a little bit last night, Travis. Waterbear came in and said 3,285 people came out. That's insane. That's all. We'll talk about that. If you know what 3,285 is, it's insane. Are we talking digital fluffer type stuff? Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm just saying, some people that are making amateur stuff can't make it through certain periods, and you gotta use a shot again. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying. I'm trying to be as discreet as possible on YouTube here. We need the proof. I mean, proof of what? It's not like I have the footage. Oh, Roic, it'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with that whole ordeal. I got my popcorn bucket ready. I'm just ready to be like I said jokingly last night, Roic, I will start a separate YouTube channel just to cover that case. There's going to be so much shit that comes from that. I worked on I can tell you this, Monster. I worked on a movie. I was still in school. It was 2003. It was called, I think it was called The Blunt Movie. And it's exactly what it is, like a marijuana. Pat Morita was in it. There was like D-list celebrities, lots of D-list celebrities in this film. And one of my first shots was, it was this endless shot of a porn star, okay? And she was walking around naked, right? She was just completely naked, and she's walking around. It was a steady shot as we were going backwards through the house. And while she's doing stuff, she's on the phone, and she's walking through a bunch of stuff, and she's like grabbing random items throughout the house. And it ends up where she sits down at this table, okay? And I had to get underneath the table to wrangle the wire in because of where the camera stopped. So as we're going through the house, I'm just a cable wrangler, okay? So I'm wrangling the coaxial cable, and you got to do over, under type of stuff, right? And we had to go through the entire house and then film it backwards to reel the cable in, okay? So then she would end up, because we were leading her as she's walking through, okay? So as we end up, we sit down, and I have the view, and we did this take because it's a one continuous shot. We did this one continuous shot. It took forever, right? It was like amateur filmmaking, and this is the movie. Hold on, I don't know if they have. I have no idea. Let me look it up real fast. I think it's called The Blunt Movie. Let's see. Yeah, Blunt Movie. Got a 6.8. Came out in 2013. I worked on it in 2003. Right? Angie Everhart was in it. Dennis Rodman, Pat Morita, Michael Winslow, Jackie Martlin, James Wong, that's it. That's her. Mary Carey, the porn star. There it is. All right. So the entire time we did this take, I think 23 times. 23 times. Right? So there was a bunch of people in this film. What's going on, Mo? A Cable Wrangler DLC coming soon. It was funny. I was like, this is my job for today. Do you want your name somewhere in the credits? Oh, my name is in the credits for that one. Yep. Oh, whatever. James says, sounds like I showed up at the right time. Go on, Sin. Yeah, I was telling a story about working on bad projects and whatnot. And if it's so bad, that wasn't as bad. It was funny. It's like a comedy, right? It's a comedy, which they can't do anymore, right? They can't do anymore. It's a sketch comedy movie. So it's like short little feature, short little stories inside, right? So they can't do that anymore because people don't have sense of humors and whatnot. Oh, does she? Z? I don't even know. I don't even know. All right, let's go from that and let's watch the next short, which is the Unreal Engine tech demo. Unreal Engine lighting or Megalights tech demo that came on yesterday. This is from IGN. IGN has this up on their site. Let's watch this. No, I do not, Ron. I do not.
Thank you, Simon. Hey, Victor.
Hey, everyone.
Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump right in.
When we look at where to take Unreal Engine in the future, we start with the user, asking ourselves how the tools and the tech get out of their way as they bring their ideas to life. One challenging limitation for our creators has been the cost of shadow casting lights. To that end, we've developed new technology that enables artists to use orders of magnitude more and higher quality light sources than ever before. Let's take an early look at this new feature we're calling Megalights. And who better to
Megalights
guide us through this experience than our intrepid explorer from Lumen in the land of Nanite, Echo. Let's see what's up ahead, Victor.
All right, hold on a second. I want to make sure I got it at 1080p. Yeah, I got it at 1080p right now. All right. Even for me right now, it's very not clear, by the way. So
always something new to discover.
It looks very blurry around all the edges of everything. All of this is very blurry.
Before we get into the details of Megalights, I first wanted to talk about this environment. Built using a suite of brand new assets from the Quixel Megascans library, we've also partnered with Kitbash 3D. They're an awesome resource for 3D models and materials. You can soon find many of these assets on our new Fab Asset Marketplace if you want to use them in your own projects.
The lighting looks very good. This Megalight looks very good. Come on, Feed.
Moving on, let's talk Megalights. Unreal Engine is at its best when users can express themselves without technical constraint. Like Nanite did for triangles or Lumen for a global illumination, Megalights removes limitation in a whole new category: direct lighting and shadows.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you can see each of the screens that they have in these openings and the way they're projecting the light, each individual, and the reflection off of, like, if you look off of these corners, and then how the harsh shadows are behind.
Take, for example, these textured area lights, considered the gold standard of offline rendering. Here they are, in real time, spilling vibrant color into the scene, casting soft shadows, and illuminating the environment.
You know what's funny about all this stuff? They can make it look as fantastic as possible. The gamer's mentality is that they're going to run past this in 3 seconds. They start the game, they're going to run past this, up those stairs to the next thing, never ever looking. It's just kind of an off thing on the side. They'll be like, oh, that looks cool, but they won't take it in, right?
In a way artists simply couldn't have done before.
Why did we cut to why did we cut to his controller to show this awesome gameplay. Like, why are we doing this? He's actually moving up the stairs. Woo! Thank you so much for showing us the guy moving the controller to show us that it's actually happening.
And a whole new tool in the creator's toolkit is huge, but that's not the only way Megalights makes things better. Let's see what's next.
What a weird, like, I'm just thinking as the director of this, like, who's doing it. All right, punch in on the controller. Punch in on the controller. Go to controller. All right, put it in the picture-in-picture. Okay, back up. Camera 2, and go. Like, nothing's happening. He's walking slow motion up the stairs. Like, this is not a... We're not talking about a pro gamer here that's doing, like, awesome things on the screen. He's walking upstairs.
Hey there, little guy. Who are you?
So it looks like Echo has found herself in quite an interesting marketplace here. It's just about to open for the day. Let's turn on some of these shop fronts and see what's for sale.
See, that's cool. The way they're doing that. Look at the difference, right? Look at the difference. Obviously, the lights are turned off, but when they turn them on, look how alive. And this is what we talk about all the time when we talk about like playing like Division 1 or Division 2. What Massive does. Say what you want about Star Wars Outlaws, okay? Like the game's just good, but the environment that they built in that game feels very good. Like when you're walking in the cities and whatnot, it feels alive. See how plain this looks? And then all of a sudden they put the lights on. Again, most people would just run past this and not even think a second. They take everything for granted. But the amount of like visual bringing the light, and this is out without people walking, it's just them on the screen, how much more alive it becomes when you're walking through here.
There's something missing though. The scene, it's flat, it's undefined. Let's turn on shadows, but not just for a few important lights, for every single light in the entire view.
See? Now most people wouldn't even tell of this, right? We just showed pictures like 2-3 days ago, right? There was a video we were watching, November Hotel had a video showing about Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 and how it changed from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. Destiny 1 was much more detailed. The lights were much more detailed. And then when it went to Destiny 2, everything looks more flat, right? And that's exactly what that is, right? In comparison, this is Destiny 2. This is Destiny 1. Destiny 2, Destiny 1 type of thing, right? Where there was much more detail, shadows, lights, details, just all along.
For every single light in the entire view.
I need someone to show me the controller guy again. Can we punch in on the controller? I want to make sure he's actually still doing it.
From these main shop fronts to the screens, the displays, the flickering oil lamps, string lights, candles, signs.
That's a lot,
We're
man.
free to use whatever lights we need to tell our story and bring this beautiful environment to life.
You see this game's getting 60 frames per second?
Now, the density of light sources you see here, it's extremely high. And this is what you get when artists are working playfully
You're like, ah!
without limitation.
It's a tech demo. I have no idea, Travis.
Let's go back to the scene. Victor, let's go further. Let's activate all these animated drones and robots. Over 1,000 individual shadow casting light sources in this view alone.
See, that's super impressive. Super impressive. And 99.9% of the people won't give two shits about any of this.
Fireflies.
All of these lights, they're movable, dynamic, scattering through the volumetric fog, and Megalights handles this impressive scene without missing a beat.
Cut to the guy playing.
As we continue on,
That's right. He's moving super slow motion.
it's worth mentioning that removing these limitations around light count and shadows, it doesn't just apply to point and spotlights, but to area lights.
Just to let you know, Just because you show a controller on screen and he's doing this doesn't mean he's actually doing it. I'm not saying he's not doing it. I'm just saying showing a slow end ass picture of a person walking through an environment and him doing this doesn't mean he's actually doing it. There's no point to show the controller right now.
Megalights enables artists to use area lights.
I feel like one of the directors is trying to pad his resume, is what I think he's doing right now.
As freely as they would any other light source.
Oh, what's your directing skills? Did you see the tech demo? Did you see the Megalight tech demo? Did you see what I did there? You see what I did? I did picture-in-picture showing close-ups of the controller.
Now, whether you're using textured area lights, light functions, crisp shadows, or lovely soft shadows, you can have huge numbers of lights of any type in whatever configuration works best for your scene.
Altern says, by the way, that character is a skin in Fortnite. Like, for real. I'm not joking. Is it really? Like, this character is literally inside of Fortnite?
Now, as we send Echo off on her next adventure, we should mention performance. What you've seen here is running live on a PlayStation 5.
How do I know that? They have to cut to the PlayStation 5 right now. Close up. Push in, punch in, PlayStation 5, put it in the screen next to me. I need to know.
Megalights is included in UE 5.5. It's an experimental feature in 5.5, and you can also check it out on the expo floor if you want a closer look at all the pretty pixels.
All joking aside, it does look awesome. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait for games to... You guys see me play games. We go to every nook and cranny corner or whatever, okay? Like, it looks super impressive. Super impressive. But what are the downfalls of making something look like this? Right? Z says 30, he didn't mean playing on... he meant playing with the PlayStation 5 controller. I would have cut to a PlayStation on the corner and be like, yep, see? It's running... It's running right on there. Show it. Show me. Show me the cable attached to it. Is there more tech stuff from this?
Thank you very much.
Is there more from IGN for the tech stuff? Hold on. Valorant console optimization, future upgrades, Unreal Engine 5. That's 7 minutes long. What else we got? We got the Unreal Fest Seattle 2024 opening session. That's 2 hours and 24 minutes. We ain't doing that. Did they? Well, hold on. Did they make chapters? Come on, bro. Even I do chapters, and I'm a nobody. Come on, IGN. What you doing? There's no... That's the Unreal announcement. That's 1 day ago. Okay, here we go. PAX Day. Unreal Engine demo early access announcement. We can look at that. We got Unreal 5.5 show off new improvements. All right, let's do that. Do that. What else we got?
Wow, thanks guys. That was truly amazing.
Truly.
This feature will greatly simplify the lighting process and open up many possibilities. Now, with the awesome environments you can build with Nanite, Lumen, and our Quixel Megascans, you need characters to blend well into the scene to be
I did not yet.
And to move with smooth transitions. Back at GDC, we showed you our new motion matching technology that helps you achieve smoother animation transition and locomotion that adapts to the environment. Creating animation requires a lot of effort, and being able to do it in context in your environments.
Looking at this right here, and you saying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Eclipse, I think of the turtles running across rooftops.
Makes that much easier. That is why we're continuing to invest in developing a world-class animation authoring system and removing the need to round trip to DCC or any external tools. Some of the improvements we've made in 5.5 include deformers that are now much easier to use and can be added to sequencer with just one click.
That's crazy.
Time warp curves and animation layers have been added, enabling non-destructive editing on top of existing animation or mocap. Choosers help you make selections in animation blueprint systems. And finally, the skeletal editor is now production ready. Character creation and customization is another area where we invested in order to simplify content creation workflows. The Mutable plugin makes it easier to support a wide range of variations on characters or skeletal meshes. For example, it hides hair when equipping a helmet. It can also procedurally tuck pants into boots and hide parts of
Ooh, tuck pants into boots. Sold.
layered clothing to prevent Z-fighting. It reduces the number of draw calls by optimizing and merging mesh sections and textures. And all of this can be achieved simply by using a graph, reducing the need for your team to create character variations individually.
Yeah, these are just nodes.
This plugin will ship as beta in 5.5, and we've included a content sample to help you get started.
It's awesome.
You can also leverage machine learning to keep your characters more realistic. Our simulation system can be used to provide high-fidelity ML training data for clot and muscle deformation. And while we're talking about simulation and physics, in 5.5, we've added support for customizable vehicles that provide a building block-style assembly, giving you the flexibility.
This is going to be insane because they open it up to anybody that wants to do it. And the more people that use it, it's just going to get exponentially faster. And we'll show you a little bit after these videos that we watch from Unreal Engine. We'll go to AI stuff and talk about the AI stuff that's happening. Okay? Like exponentially faster, right? The machine learning and then the customizations that you can do. Fortnite, I've said for years, is doing something crazy, right? And I'm not talking about Fortnite, just a battle royale game. I'm talking about Epic with Fortnite, what they're doing. And you can see just in the last year what they've done with Fortnite, adding the Rocket League, adding the jam sessions, adding Fall Guys, just changing up with Legos, and then they're adding the Disney stuff in there and what they can do with the live concerts and all these different things they do. It's pretty crazy.
To configure and customize your vehicles with ease. As for chaos physics, we're committed to making it an accurate and simple to use simulation system. In 5.5, we've made significant optimizations and expanded the chaos visual debugger to help with performance analysis and debugging. Now, let's talk about audio. A few years ago, we introduced MetaSounds, our procedural audio engine, to give more control and better controls to audio designers. With 5.5, we improved productivity and performance with MetaSound pages, which can be used to swap graphs to target low-spec platforms, the relative render cost metric, which helps limit CPU usage, and many updates to Audio Insights, our analyzer and profiler tool. For all you audiophiles in the room, be sure to stop by our audio booth in the...
Let's watch this one.
Thanks, Dana, for having us. I'm Thor Gunnarsson, co-founder and CEO at Mainframe Industries.
And I'm Sol Kahro, co-founder and chief product officer. It's super exciting to be here.
So we're a European-based independent developer, a small team passionately crafting a one-of-a-kind MMO. It's a project some of us have been dreaming of for more than 20 years. We call it Pax Dei.
Our game is what we call a
Pax Dei. This is that game that Asmongold was playing with his community, right? And they built a goddamn city on top of a mountain or something like that.
social sandbox MMO. Taking inspiration from medieval Europe, Pax Dei is a vast open world shared between thousands of players. Here, you choose the role you want to play, explore the land, build your home, and forge your reputation.
First and foremost, Pax Dei is a place. As we set about creating an MMO for the modern age, we knew the first thing we had to get right was the world. We spent a lot of time establishing the right atmosphere. We want the world of Pax Dei to feel grounded and familiar, while at the same time looking cinematic, more vibrant, and larger than life.
Unreal Engine empowers our relatively small team to punch way above our weight class in terms of project scope and quality. Lumen allows us to achieve unparalleled realism in our environments.
You see what he's saying? Punch way above what they are. And that's what this engine's doing, right? So it's letting studios that are much, much smaller, that shouldn't be able to produce any of this type of stuff, to compete with companies that are 1,000-man teams, okay? Which, obviously, companies like Microsoft and Sony with their bigger companies where they have thousands and thousands and thousands of employees, look at this, and this is a dream job, right? This well, not a dream job, a dream scenario where they can make something and use this software and cut down on manpower, okay? Where they don't have to pay as many people because they can get skilled people, hopefully, okay, to make the exact same thing a group of 100 people can do that 1,000 people did in the past.
Nanonet ensures that even the most intricate details are rendered flawlessly without compromising performance.
And we have the ability to render player-made structures in real time, in minute detail, and at great distances. Players can gaze out over miles of terrain, spotting distant
Dolphin says, this game almost melted my computer when I played the beta.
landmarks and player-built cities that invite exploration.
Like, look at this. This is made by people. Like, this is created by the people that played the game. Not the developers, but like people in game.
One of the most powerful extensions we've made to Unreal is the ability to seamlessly transition player state between Unreal servers. By stitching together a fleet of Unreal servers...
Oh, look at that. Bethesda, are you taking notice? Bethesda, read this.
Player state
See that? Unreal Server 1, there's a boundary, and then they crossed over into Unreal Server 2. Crazy.
We created a game world over
Take note, Bethesda.
square miles in size. You can support over 8,000 players in a single game instance. As players travel, servers are automatically spun up, ensuring a smooth gameplay.
Okay, what did that say? 150 plus square miles.
As players travel,
8,500 players. Okay.
Servers are automatically spun up, ensuring a smooth gameplay experience.
Pax Day is a true sandbox. The world's a stage, a blank canvas for players to make their own. Everything players use in the game has to be crafted, starting with your home. We've been amazed at the level of creativity our players...
That's insane. That's insane. Those of you that know that I talk about Star Wars Galaxies back in the day, how I loved playing that game and going from Mos Eisley to, like, you're running across the desert and there's nothing out there. And then you come back like a couple days later and there's like one house out there, or there was one house out there. And then you come back a couple days later while you're grinding, and all of a sudden there's like 3 houses out there. And then after that, there was a small town and they have a government. And then there's a spaceport there. And that's what I loved about Star Wars Galaxies back in the day. Here we are, 21 years later, okay? And there's still not a game that potentially does what that game did back then. And now they're starting to make a lot more MMOs that are trying to do what those did back in the day.
...have shown using the modular building system in the game. And when full clans join forces, whole player-created civilizations start to emerge.
Our vision for Pax Day required us to address heads-on the classic challenge any MMO faces: how to handle high player density. To tackle this, we created tech that dynamically distributes players across layers. This allows the server capacity to...
I would almost want to play this game in a way that people play Minecraft. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to play this as an MMO. I would rather play this as a creative world where I'm building just in my own little server. I don't know if you can do that, right? But I would love to make a landscape, because people would just love doing city planning and shit in the game like this.
To temporarily scale in the same location whenever that zone requires higher concurrency. Player and world state is persisted across all the layers, with each layer corresponding to a single Unreal server. With layering, clans can work together to build...
What's not ever going away, Mo? Billy says, mainframe, like was awesome, a Canadian show, Reboot Guardians, the future tech should pop in events and disrupt the medieval peasants and corruption of leaders. Isn't there a game coming out where you're like a modern person that goes back into... What was that game called? That's coming out soon, isn't it?
Huge structures such as cities, while still sharing the same persisted world. An old persisted state, such as buildings, inventories, and market stalls, is intelligently shared and replicated using a robust backend that ensures transactionality and data integrity.
And it's not only buildings. Every weapon,
that's it, Krebsy.
dress,
Kingsmaker.
Piece of armor in Pax Day is player-created. We work hard on giving each item a level of detail that will make players proud.
Oh, I understand that, Altern. What I'm saying is, like Minecraft, when you see people building like Westeros from like Game of Thrones, obviously there's people building that by themselves, and there's also people building that with teams. Okay, what I'm saying is, I would love if this game not only was an MMO, but you could just create by yourself and just make your own kind of world, and then people could like upload them. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a whole community that would love to just build cities and villages and towns and castles on their own.
Of having crafted it, and soon we're going to be adding a lot of depth to this aspect of our game.
We're currently upgrading our wear and tear system to dynamically adjust the appearances of individual pieces of equipment, reflecting how much damage is received, so you know if it's time for repair. We also built each item from the ground up to be modular, making it easy to adjust the fabric and color, add patterns or symbols, or change the trim. With these options, players will soon be able to express as much creativity in customizing their appearance as they already enjoy in the building side.
That's cool.
Our game requires the community to come alive. To all the
I get that's why they're doing it. They're building it on the community itself. So this game will either strive and be like super successful because of the community that's in it, or it will die super fast because nobody gives a shit.
Players that have joined us in early access so far, thank you. We've been humbled by your feedback, support, and passion, and we couldn't do it without you. If you want to support a team making something fresh in the MMO space, please join our early access now and help us build the virtual world that we can all inhabit.
And I get what they're trying to do, and I think it's pretty cool. But again, when you're building an environment around community, and then nobody shows up, that game's dead. Dead. Doesn't matter what you do. Argus says, game devs mostly suck at in-game design, so I prefer that they do a game like this, the way that, this way I'll turn. We get enough games like that where we are on the devs' leash. Dolphin says, why isn't a Game of Thrones game out yet and Beyond Me? Well, it's come and gone, right? It's not big anymore. Yeah, Kingsmaker looks good. What's going on, Kuda Papa? Where is that Teenage Ninja Turtle thing that you were talking about, Eclipse? Did you put it inside? Oh, Altern, that is the girl. Yeah, there you go. That is the girl from inside. She cost 800 V-Bucks. Yeah, she cost 800 V-Bucks. There you go. Do we have, let me see. I'm scrolling up inside Discord. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is a tech demo. This is a tech demo of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Thanks, Simon. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here today to unveil Fest.
I just want to say, when they came out with those skins, I did say back in the day when they came out with those skins, I did purchase those. I said, I can't wait till they make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game with inside of Fortnite, like a standalone game inside. I said that will be the future of what Fortnite does, where they have games with inside the game itself. And then Lego came out and all this other shit came out, right?
To share what's new.
Mo says, the greatest feeling, and thank you very much for the 19-month support. The greatest feeling is knowing that I can play hundreds of games for $20 a month with Game Pass. This is the greatest deal in gaming. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for the 19-month support, man.
We launched UEFN to enable creators to build their own games inside of Fortnite and be compensated fairly based on player engagement. Many of you here in the audience today have helped expand what's possible with UEFN. Let's take a look at some of the amazing content so far.
tuned into the master. Original, never manufactured. I break the mold, shatter the plaster. You can learn something, watch this, get your camera. They can't do it like me.
Yeah, it's crazy what they're doing with this game. Fortnite's not even a game anymore, it's a platform.
We want to put the most powerful tools into your hands as we continue to make Fortnite the most creator-friendly ecosystem to develop and launch games. UEFN puts the power of Unreal Engine at your fingertips, but it's unique at the speed at which you can iterate on your game. You can rapidly prototype in UEFN, connect to the live Fortnite environment on PC, console, and mobile with no dev kit needed. So let's start with an update on how we're working to improve discoverability of your games. So a key aspect of finding success within the ecosystem is how your content is surfaced to players in Discover. That's the interface where Fortnite players can explore and find their next favorite game. We recently launched new Discover features to get your island in front of the right players with personalized recommendations updated hourly. And with over 400 new islands releasing every single day, improving Discover has never been more important. We have a lot more work to do. Behind me, you will see...
Oh, for sure, Altern. For sure. Right? Altern says, by the way, there's like a show, all this inside of Fortnite, the only maps you see are getting promoted are the Tycoons or Red vs. Blue Team Deathmatch. It's super hard to find fun, creative maps. It's the same problem we have in any software. Like when you turn on Fortnite and you look through the stuff, it's like turning on Netflix or Disney Plus or any of the streaming services, or even looking at your dashboard on PlayStation or Xbox, where you're like trying to find a game and you're going through all the stuff. It's so annoying to find the game. You spend more time looking for something than you are playing the actual thing you want to play.
Of the redesigned version of Discover that will launch soon, and you'll be able to, and we'll continue to iterate to enable players to find new genres that they love, including deeply regional content. You can learn a lot more about the new features at the Discover Talk on Thursday at 11:45. So once players discover and play your game, the economy will reward your success. In Fortnite,
Today's Thursday.
It's simple. If players play your game, you get paid. We're continuously working on new features that empower you to deliver highest quality content and help you build and manage your business in Fortnite. As of today, we've had 134,000 islands published with UEFN, and we paid out $479 million to creators.
Chat, we need to make an island. We need to make an island ASAP. What kind of game are we making inside this epic Unreal Engine 5.5 Megalight? We got an island. We got plenty of ideas. Should we make the Battlefront 3? Should we make the G.I. Joe game? What are we doing? We got to do something.
Thank you. The central hub to manage and grow your business is the Creator Portal. Recently, we've added more key analytics around impressions, clicks, and section duration in Creator Portal. And our goal is to help you hone in on what elements of your island exactly are resonating with players and where you have insights for areas of improvement. This is just one example, and you can learn a lot more about the Creator Portal at our talk on Thursday at 2 p.m. Now, let's dive into the new features that we're building for UEFN itself. Our aim...
There is something in there, game. I think it's called Battlegrounds, if I'm not mistaken. Altern. You could fight inside of Tatooine or Mos Eisley. It somewhat looks like it, and you can have a every man for themselves match, or it's team based.
Aim is to build tools and platform that enables you to make the games that you want to make and publish them directly into Fortnite. While we still have a ways to go, in the next few months, we're addressing some of the big holes in the capabilities of the platform. So first, Fortnite players love a good shooter game. However, there's a perspective that has been neglected, first-person shooters.
Oh, nice. They're putting the first person where you can make first person now.
We've just released the experimental first-person camera mode device in UEFN. This is going to enable...
Watch out. Watch out. There's going to be a lot more first person. That's cool. That is very cool. I would like people that make this inside of Fortnite, give me an option. I don't want to just do first person. Give me a first person, third person perspective type of thing. All depending on what kind of game you're making.
Enable creators to give the ability to build islands in some of today's most popular genres including tactical, team-based, and ability-based shooters. You can start building and experimenting today, and you'll be able to publish those islands to players later this year. And to further support the development of first-person games over the next year, we'll also be introducing the ability to create fully custom weapons, deeper UI capabilities.
Wow. Fully customizable weapons.
And finally, global leaderboards. Shooters is just one genre that players love. More casual experiences are fast gaining popularity in the ecosystem. On average, about 1/3 of time spent playing creator-made games is in non-combat games now, and that share has been growing over time.
Yeah, I'm playing a farm tycoon inside of Fortnite myself, just seeing how they fundamentally so you have a currency, there's like a little patch of farm that you have, and you have to plant corn. And then as you collect the corn, you can sell it to the market. And then when you sell it to the market, then you have enough to expand the farm. And then you can buy different quadrants of the farm. And then you have different income coming in. And I was just like, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's inside Fortnite. Like, it's a game you came to play, save the world, then opened up to a battle royale. Now I'm playing a farm sim game with inside of Fortnite itself. We also did another one, an island one, where you're expanding the raft, just like the raft game, but you're doing that inside of Fortnite. So it's another game inside of Fortnite. It's crazy the amount of possibilities that you can do inside of Fortnite right now.
Let's talk about what
there's a full-on RPG
going to do to enable more of these genres. We're focused on making it easier to create casual and social games with the introduction of text chat.
There you go. There's the roleplay section.
Coming very soon. Within the next year, we'll also release fully custom items and in-world UI capabilities. And all these features would enable you to build games in a variety of genres like social roleplay, action RPGs, horror, and much more.
That is amazing what he just said. And I know people will just glance by it. They'll just glance by it, right? Listen to what he's saying again, right? We're just talking about Fortnite here. We're talking about the platform of Fortnite, what you can do to put on. Anybody, any of you, can make a game right now and post it inside of Fortnite.
Build games in a variety of genres like social roleplay, action RPGs, horror, and much more. And then finally, a core tool that supports both shooter and casual games is Scene Graph, and like our new entity and component framework. We launched Scene Graph, an experimental feature, in June, giving you the early access to the tools as we continue to iterate and improve based on your feedback. Now, in December, Scene Graph will be moving into beta, meaning you'll finally be able to publish your islands.
Wait a minute, what did he say there?
Based on your feedback. Now, in December, Scene Graph will be moving into beta, meaning you'll finally be able to publish your islands.
Oh, you can publish your islands.
So, Scene Graphs enable you to iterate and create variations of your content much more efficiently, to build better experiences faster, greater control over core engine systems like audio, physics, particle meshes, and then finally, you can inject custom gameplay logic with verse components. So, one more thing. We love giving you tools that spark creativity and the opportunity to build with world-class IP, like we did with Fall Guys.
Altern says, Concord Fortnite when? Concord Fortnite when?
Lego and Rocket Racing earlier this year. So what better way to bring the brawler genre to Fortnite than partnering with Paramount to bring you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I'm sold already. I'm sold already. Authentic Teenage Turtle props and fill the world. 150 new props. Tools that create a whole new look. Make a side scroller. You can make a first-person Teenage Turtle game. You can make an RPG. Like, what? Hold on a second. I want to go back and look what they got there. You could literally make Turtles in Time again if you wanted to. You could recreate the side-scrolling Turtles in Time. That's gonna be insane. That's gonna be insane. Opening that up to the public, and the public can make whatever games they want. Let's make the Transformers game you wanted in Fortnite, but they won't transform.
We're just as excited. So, starting today, you can get custom weapons, devices, templates, and assets that enable you to build your very own authentic TMNT island that you can publish in November. Anyone in the Island Creator Program can publish islands with these tools by agreeing to the 15% engagement payout share with Paramount. And if you've already signed the agreement to create Lego Islands, you don't have to sign again.
Think about what he just said there, right? If you're part of the program, right? So let's say, who owns Teenage Mutant Turtles right now? Nickelodeon? Does Nickelodeon own them? So Nickelodeon signs a deal with Epic, and they say, okay, we're going to give you the licensing and logos of everything of Teenage Mutant Turtles, and we're giving it to you. Epic says, okay, great. We're going to open it up to the public, and the public can then make anything they want with your Teenage Mutant Turtles. And Nickelodeon, again, I don't know if they own them. I'm just using it right now. Nickelodeon says, great. So they don't have to go out and try to pay someone to make a Teenage Mutant Turtles game for them. They just gave Epic the permission to put it out there, and anybody, good or bad, can make a Teenage Mutant Turtles game. Side-scroller, first-person, top-down, three-quarter, gauntlet style. It doesn't matter. Is it Paramount? Okay, right? But they just open it up to inspiring game developers, people that want to make their own stuff, people that have ideas like we have. We want to make a G.I. Joe Battlefront type of game. You could potentially make that in here, right? Like, that's insane that they just basically cut out not just the middleman, they cut out developers. They're opening it up to anybody and anybody to make stuff. And again, good and bad comes from that, but the top of the top will rise, okay? And you can make money from it. That's huge.
So you'll be able to use TMNT devices, including the classic turtle weapons, world-building POIs, such as the Technodrome, fully playable, and along with the existing UEFN tools to build out your experience. And all of that, paired with our new camera system, custom-branded NPCs, and TMNT-themed UI, unlocks the building of classic beat-em-up experiences. We're also releasing the post-processing features you saw to all Fortnite creators to enable them to transform your experience and give them like a classic comic book feel. So one of the ways that we here at Epic use to improve our tools is by using them ourselves. And earlier this year, we shared that we'll be shipping a season in Battle Royale built fully in UEFN by the end of 2025. As a step on that journey, we're building 2 projects currently using a mix of UEFN and internal features. The first is an updated version of Reload that players will experience in the coming weeks. The focus on the rebuild was dialing in core editor workflows. Otherwise, to players, it's completely transparent that it went into UEFN. Later this year, we're launching a brand new game made primarily in UEFN to stress test Verse and the UX framework. We made the decision at Epic to move our first-party
later this year. Like, we got 3 months left.
Into UEFN sooner to accelerate feature development with the goal of creating better, more robust tools for everyone faster. Right now, it might seem that UE and UEFN are still really far apart, but Verse, Scene Graph, and the APIs that we're releasing in December are all part of the foundation for the future of UE6. This incredible community of creators is expanding what's possible in Fortnite and beyond. Thank you for your tremendous contributions to the Epic ecosystem, and thank you for your time. And now, please welcome Dana Cowley to the stage.
That's crazy. That's crazy, though, what they're doing. Epic out here disrupting the gaming market, right? They're suing Apple, they're suing Google, they're trying to get more places where you can get Fortnite on mobile devices, trying to stop the stores, opening up theirs to make anybody that would like to make a game can make a game. Getting the assets, getting the IPs, nobody's doing it. Nobody. There's not another game on planet Earth that has as many IPs as Epic does, right? Between DC, Marvel, Turtles, Transformers, Star Wars, right? Halo, they have God of War. They have all of these characters that they can use with inside the world of Fortnite. It's insane. Yeah, Dragon Ball. Like it's crazy. Like just think about this, right? Dark Taco. Sparking Zero's coming out, right? Sparking Zero's coming out. Let's just say it wasn't coming out, though, right? A fighting game wasn't coming out. Someone can then make a Dragon Ball Z game inside of Fortnite. Somebody can make the next Batman game inside of Fortnite. Somebody can make the Superman game, not just in Fortnite, but with the Unreal Engine, which they've done, right? Take any IP that's in Fortnite right now, and you could recreate, you could make a Sifu type of game with John Wick and make it into that, right? It's insanity what you could do with that, and you can make any type of game that you want. It says Epic Games will need to ignore many complaints if they want to creatively strive. Many will rig the leaderboards to use armies and followers to manipulate and get promoted into Epic. It's not very strict. Sure, but just like any other piece of media, okay, why does a video go viral on TikTok? Why does a video go viral on YouTube? Why is one thing popular than the other? Word of mouth spreads, people buy bots, whatever, okay? But the factor is that they've now just broke the gap. It's been here for a few years now, but as they get more IPs into the Fortnite world, into the metaverse of Fortnite, you can make games that you want to make. And obviously, if let's say you wanted to make Assassin's Creed, you couldn't call it Assassin's Creed because they don't have the rights to that. But you could make an Assassin's Creed type of game in your vision, right? You could make any game that you would want to make with inside of Fortnite, just name it a little different and have the mechanics, and you could make the game that you want. That's crazy that you could make Teenage Mutant Turtles. Right? Imagine Ghostbusters. You can make a Ghostbusters game. Right? You can make your own. And I know they already have the technology inside of Unreal because I've played some of the RPGs that they have. So you're on one island, and in that one island, it's a castle or whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's a door. You go through the door, and it teleports you to another island. And then in that island, it's another board. It's another level, and it just keep happening. It's crazy. You could call it Creed Assassins. That's impressive. I like technology like that. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what people are creative, man. I mean, look at what they do with fan films and whatnot. Here, perfect thing to go in to what people are doing with that. And I want to show you this. This is a couple of weeks old. Okay. But this is 8 days old. This is okay, the thing I'm going to show you next is 100% AI created. Okay? The video, the people, the music, everything is AI created. It's a whole channel called Demon Flying Fox. Okay? This is called Star Wars Revenge of the Redneck. Okay? They've taken Star Wars, rethought it into the story of a redneck. Okay? And I want to show you this. Okay? Those of you that think that AI is so far off, and obviously there are there are things in this you go, it looks bad. Okay. But the fact that someone can make this without using a camera, without using anything, just typing in words and make it into what this is insane. Okay. So I want to show you this. Okay. Make sure it's nice and... All right. Everything here is AI.
Anakin's riding Uncle Palpatine's shack, thinking about Padme, but there's no turning back. She's rocking on the porch with twins on the way, while Anakin's slipping deeper every day. Obi-Wan's leaning, staring at the sky, watching him drift and wondering why. Palpatine's smiling with a devilish grin, knowing Vader's about to dive right in. You cross the line, too far to turn. The family's broken hearts start to burn. Padme's waiting, but you're too far gone. Obi's driving, knowing it's all wrong. And Yoda's sipping on his jug of brew, saying that boy's done, ain't nothing left to do. Windu's hiding in the swamp so still, waiting for Palpatine to show his ill will. But old Palpatine zapped him quick as a flash. Mace hit the swamp, gone in a splash.
All of you that think that it's going to take years and a decade for shit to happen, we're talking within an amount of months. Okay? Amount of months. Okay?
Yoda's watching, hidden by the trees, sipping moonshine, feeling that breeze. Obi-Wan's rolling in his beat-up truck, trying to save Anakin, but running out of luck. You cross the line, too far to turn. The family's broken hearts start to burn. Padme's waiting, but you're too far gone. Obi's driving, knowing it's all wrong. And Yoda's sipping on his jug of brew, saying that boy's done, ain't nothing left to do.
I'll be honest. I will watch the shit out of this if they created this. Redneck Star Wars, like HBO. This could be the next True Blood or something.
The swamp's on fire, the day's getting hot. Anakin's raging, losing the plot. Obi-Wan's facing him, saber in hand, saying, boy, you're tearing apart this land. Padme's breaking, torn by what she sees, while Palpatine's smiling.
The whole property's burning down. They're fighting over a trailer park.
Saying, boy, you're free. The South's gone dark and the family's torn. Anakin's lost and Vader's born.
I'm sorry, I gotta go back to Vader.
The South's gone dark and the family's torn. Anakin's lost and Vader.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Vader's born, you cross the line, too far to turn. The family's broken hearts start to burn. Padme's waiting, but you're too far gone. Obi's driving, knowing it's all wrong. And Yoda's sipping on it.
Yoda is so good. Look at this. Come on.
Jug of brew, saying that boy's done, ain't nothing left to do.
Okay. I want to sit on this guy's channel for a bit because I want to show you some of the stuff that he's done. Okay, and this is all AI stuff. Okay, this is all
Balenciaga, Harry.
This is all AI stuff. Okay, right. So obviously it's the same type of stuff, but this is Harry Potter. Oh, here's a new one. Right, let's watch this one.
Well, down in the holler where the water runs slow was a boy named Harry, kin to everyone.
Right. I understand that it's being fed all the images of Harry Potter or whatnot, and you type it in, Redneck, Harry Potter, and the AI is taking all the stuff and putting it in. But this is amazing. We went from still images, okay, to moving animated film, video. Now, obviously, they can't speak or anything yet, okay? But goddamn, this is impressive.
You know, cousin Draco, he's got city boy disease, turning up his nose like he don't eat no peas. Lucius feeds the fire with his silver tongue, pushing Draco forward, keeping hatred young. He's a one-way spell, casting good old boy, riding broomsticks ain't no toy. Down in the holler, the magic's alive, but you best stay sharp when Draco arrives. Y'all know Harry, he's a redneck wizard, standing his ground.
The redneck wizard.
Never no quitter. Jenny's his gal, also happens to be his kin. Keeping it in the family's how it's always been. But Cho Chang showed up from somewhere uptown.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jones, you can't trust anything. This is not a real girl. This is not real. Yeah, keep it in the family. This is not a real girl.
Keeping it in the family's how it's always been. But Cho
Now, obviously, the AI can't keep it consistent. Like, look at her and then look at
up from somewhere uptown looking real.
two different faces. But obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing.
Out of place but turning heads around. Harry's smiling thinking she's something fine while old Snape's lurking hiding down the line. He's a one-wing spell casting good old boy. Riding broomsticks ain't no toy. Down in the holler the magic's alive. But you best stay sharp when Draco arrives. Y'all know Harry, he's a redneck wizard. Standing his ground, never no quitter.
No, I haven't seen it, Dustin.
Keeping them real tight while Hermione's with the baby, making sure it's done right. Bellatrix, the crazy aunt, hiding in the shed, stirring up trouble, always off her meds. Dobby's on the loose.
That's Dobby.
Trying to make things right, fighting off his demons, keeping up the fight. He's a one-wing spell casting good old boy. Riding broomsticks ain't no toy. Down in the holler the magic's alive. But you best stay sharp when Draco arrives. Y'all know Harry, he's a redneck wizard. Standing his ground, never no quitter.
Damn, Harry is jacked.
Holding Mudd's back with something to prove. Draco's feeling stuck, too inbred to move. Harry's standing tall, calling out the lies. With Dumbledore's wisdom raising him high. From the holler to hogwash, Harry's paved the way that...
Can I just say...
With Dumbledore's wisdom...
Dumbledore.
Raising him high from the holler to...
And this castle, Hogwarts Castle, looks fantastic, does it not? Does it not? It's a bunch of shipping containers into the Hogwarts school. It's amazing.
Hogwash, Harry's paved the way, that redneck wizard saving the day. He's a one-wing spell casting good old boy. Riding broomsticks ain't no toy. Down in the holler the magic's alive. But you best stay sharp when Draco arrives. Y'all know Harry, he's a redneck wizard. Standing his ground, never no quitter.
Okay. This is just so good. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, he does a lot of other videos on here. He makes like little shorts of what's it called? Of like TV shows. So for instance, let me show you this one. This is The Office. Okay.
Welcome to The Office, where work, humor, and camaraderie collide. First, meet Michael Scott, the affable yet clueless regional manager whose attempts to befriend his employees often result in hilarity. Next up is Dwight Schrute.
So good. It's so good.
The eccentric and ambitious assistant regional manager, a loyal friend and formidable foe. Joining the ranks is Pam Beasley, the sweet and talented receptionist, whose quiet determination adds depth to the office. Then there's Jim Halpert, the charming and witty salesman, whose playful pranks keep the office entertained. And don't forget Erin Hannon, the bubbly and endearing receptionist, bringing a breath of fresh air.
I think you're missing the point, Travis, but whatever.
And now let's introduce the rest of the colorful crew. Andy Bernard, the enthusiastic and often over-the-top salesman, followed by Kevin Malone, the lovable but dim-witted accountant. Also, meet Oscar Martinez, whose dry humor and wit provide a counterbalance to the chaos of the office. And don't forget Angela Martin, the meticulous and judgmental head of the party planning committee. And finally, there's Creed Bratton.
He's very sweaty.
The mysterious and enigmatic quality assurance director. Get ready to laugh until your sides ache as The Office brings you into the hilarious world of 9 to 5 hijinks.
Okay. Hold on. Let's go to the next one. I want to show you the Jetsons.
You are Balenciaga, Harry.
We'll watch that in a second. I want to watch the Jetsons. Where's the Jetsons one? There's American Dad. Oh, there's SpongeBob, Rick and Morty, Futurama. Oh, these are so good. Hold on a second. We got South Park in the 1950s. Okay, we'll put that one. We'll do Family Guy. Where's the Jetsons one I saw? We'll do Futurama. American Dad. Friends. Harry Potter. Incredibles. I could have sworn I saw the Jetsons. Oh, Star Wars, the 80s. What? This is fantastic. Hold on a second. We're going down the rabbit hole here, chat. We're going down the rabbit hole. The Simpsons. Let's hit that one up. Okay. Hold on. Buckle up. Buckle up. Harry Potter. Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Oh, my God. Lord of the Rings. Oh, Jesus. So good. Jurassic Park. Okay. Okay. We got a lot of stuff here. Let's start with South
Step
Park.
into the eccentric world of South Park, where everyday life is a punchline waiting to happen. Meet Stan Marsh, the all-American boy with a heart of gold. Then there's Kyle Broflovsky, the sharp-witted voice of reason. And who could forget Eric Cartman, the larger-than-life troublemaker, with a knack for stirring up mischief. Kenny McCormick, the perpetually unlucky kid with a muffled voice. And Butters Stotch, the naive and innocent boy next door. Follow their misadventures as they navigate the absurdities of small-town life.
That looks like Michael Jackson.
From alien invasions to demonic possessions, all with a healthy dose of satire and humor. But that's not all. Joining them are Chef, the wise and soulful school cafeteria worker, Wendy Testaberger, the fiery and fiercely intelligent classmate who's not afraid to speak her mind, and Randy Marsh, Stan's eccentric and often embarrassing father. Experience the wild world of South Park, where the kids are foul-mouthed. Experience the wild world of South Park, where the kids are...
Oh, my God.
Are foul-mouthed, the adults are clueless, and the humor is timeless.
Okay, next one. Family
Step
Guy.
into the delightful world of Family Guy, where the unexpected is the norm and the humor is as abundant as the charm. Meet Peter Griffin, the lovable but dim-witted patriarch of the Griffin family. Alongside him is Lois, his sharp and sensible wife.
I can't wait to see what Stewie looks like. What does Stewie look like?
Who keeps the family on track. Their children include Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
The misunderstood teenage daughter longing for acceptance. Chris, the lovable but naive son. And Stewie.
I thought Stewie's head was going to be a little bit different.
The brilliant baby with a penchant for diabolical schemes. And let's not forget Brian, the cultured canine with a penchant for martinis. Follow the Griffins on their roller coaster ride through Quahog. From unforgettable showdowns with the infamous giant chicken to peculiar encounters with the evil monkey. Also in the lineup is Quagmire, the smooth-talking Casanova with an eye for the ladies and a knack for finding himself in hilarious predicaments. Cleveland, the loyal friend and neighbor who's always ready to lend a hand. And Joe, the courageous police officer whose wheelchair doesn't slow him down. Experience the colorful streets of Quahog, where the jokes are as sharp as a tailor's needle and the satire cuts like a knife.
Amazing. All right, that's Family Guy. Here's
Step
Futurama.
into the future of entertainment with Futurama, where the adventures are out of this world. Join Philip J. Fry, a hapless everyman from the 20th century, as he awakens in the year 3000 to...
That looks like Callahan.
Discover a universe filled with robots, aliens, and all manner of futuristic wonders. Alongside him is Leela, the fearless captain of the Planet Express ship, and Bender, the beer-guzzling robot with a knack for bending the rules.
Pretty freaking good. That's pretty freaking good.
Embark on a journey through the vivid personalities of Futurama, from Scruffy, the stoic janitor, to the mesmerizing allure of the hypno-toad. But that's not all. Meet Professor Hubert J. Farnsworth, whose inventions and schemes propel our heroes into one misadventure after another. And then there's the rest of the colorful crew, from the lovable but clueless Dr. John A. Zoidberg to the spirited intern Amy Wong. So strap in and prepare for a journey unlike any other, as Futurama takes you on a wild ride through time, space, and beyond.
Amazing.
アナキ分かっているはずだ僕自身も
Oh, these are just stills. This is him probably just working on it. So we're not gonna watch this one. This is stills. I like to see the actual like video ones. Oh, he's got the corn music going on here. It's another still one. We can't watch this one either. I want to see what they do in video form.
They built a dino park where the river winds by, with ancient lizards roaming neath the big country sky. Uncle Hammond called, come and see the fun, but we didn't know those dinos would be on the run. Grant's deep in bones, digging through the mire. Ellie's eyeing the tree line, saying this place will backfire. Fences are down and the dinos are loose, fighting them back with some homemade booze. Grant's on the roof, yelling.
This redneck stuff is really good.
Blast 'em good, shooting at the critters like a redneck should. Oh, Jurassic Park in the southern sun, keeping them back till the day is done.
Jeff Goldblum.
Malcolm's on the porch, talking chaos and fate, while Grant's rigging up traps with an old rusty crate. Cousin Edgar's grill was blazing, dino on the rack, till a giant roared in and took him for a snack. Hammond's in the barn, wondering what went wrong, as the dinos break loose and start a wild song. Fences are down and the dinos are loose, fighting them back.
That dinosaur reminded me of something from
Fences
No Man's Sky. Like, it's just like, what is that?
are down and the dinos are loose, fighting them back with some homemade booze. Grant's on the roof, yelling blast 'em good, shooting at the critters like a redneck should. Oh, Jurassic Park in the southern sun, keeping them back till the day is done.
Jeff Goldblum looks badass.
Muldoon's out hunting with his trusty old gun. Clever girl, he whispers, knowing he's done. Arnold's flipping switches, shouting, hang on tight. But the dinos had him for a feast last night. Timmy's up a tree, Lex is screaming loud. Grant's fighting off the beast, trying to keep him proud. Fences are down and the dinos are loose, fighting them back with some homemade booze. Grant's on the roof, yelling blast 'em good, shooting at the critters like a redneck should. Oh, Jurassic Park in the southern sun, keeping them back till the day is done.
I don't know about you guys, but I would watch Redneck anything. Redneck Star Wars, Redneck Harry Potter, Redneck Jurassic Park. Like, where... I mean, this looks 10 times better than a lot of the shit that we've seen on television recently. This is fantastic. Where do I sign? They've made the characters look pretty fucking cool. All right, coming back to Earth here. Coming back to Earth. We got a video from Greg Owen where he says, the question we keep asking. Okay? If you want the links in the description, they're down below. So if you want to go check out that guy's channel for the AI stuff, you can go check that out. I think that was fantastic, right? Something different, something maybe you guys didn't know. So lots of videos on there you can go check out. So let's go watch Greg Miller here. Those of you that don't know, Greg Miller, Jesus Christ, not Greg Miller, Greg Owen. Greg Owen was on the show 3 weeks ago. Go check out that interview. It's our podcast, Chatting With. And yeah, so let's check out this. Let's check out this one. It's definitely not Greg Miller. It's Greg Owen.
Do they just have a dartboard with random words on it or something? Is this some kind of South Park Family Guy manatee situation, but for what entertainment products to make? It seems like more and more, with every new announcement, I find myself saying, who is this for? Who asked for this? What we're seeing right now, nobody knows. And the problem isn't that small audiences are being served, it's that these companies are using massive resources to attract a small group that can't possibly support them. We already know that there is a vacuum of creativity in Hollywood so massive, James Dyson has to peel his underwear off the morning after he dreams about it. But it's not just creativity, it's a lack of critical thinking as well. The entire town is so high on its own flatulent supply that they never stop to think about the customer. They have
Yeah, a lot of this stuff, like, I'm assuming he's talking about Mindy Kaling, so about Velma. Like, who's that for? Right? A lot of the... You make entertainment to try to hit the biggest and broadest audience as possible, whatever that is, right? You're like, why should we make this film? Why should we make this movie? Why should we make this television show? Why should we make this piece of entertainment? You're trying to reach out to the biggest population possible so you can make the most money possible. That's not what these are. That's not what these shows are.
Zero clue who's going to consume these products or how large that group is. Previously, I've spoken about the narcissism that drives many of these productions and how they're basically personal diaries brought to your screen. But today, let's look at the business side of things, because somewhere in, I don't know, probably accounting, some sane individual has to be looking at these audience numbers and wondering, hey, who exactly is going to be buying this?
Right.
Somebody has to, right?
Yeah, you might as well, right? No one else is doing it, so you might as well do it, Greg.
Anybody else seeing this right now? You know? Do I have to stop? Am I the one?
Take the Marvels from last year. Was it hilariously bad, just like as a movie? 100%, yeah. It was so disjointed, it could escape from a locked crate if you threw it in the East River. Clearly a Franken film, so much was obviously macheted out of this thing, you could almost see the stitches between scenes. But beyond the atrocious dialogue, the lackluster fights, the lack of chemistry between the leads, and a villain that was...
You're welcome, Matter. You're very welcome.
So dumb and pointless, she makes Ivan Venko look amazing. There remains the core question, who was this supposed to be for? The supposed lead is one of the most unlikable characters and actresses in the franchise. Marvel obviously knew that. They lessened her role while changing the name from Captain Marvel 2 to The Marvels. But if not Carol, who's going to lead this mess? Well, two lesser-known Disney Plus characters, of course. Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, fan favorite, right?
Right, and that's the problem. I understand what they were trying to do with Disney Plus. Like, watch here, then continue watching the film. But if people didn't have Disney Plus, which a lot of people didn't have Disney Plus, and you're watching the Marvels, which I haven't seen, you would have no idea who those characters are. And in that movie, they're not telling you who those characters are. They're not giving you a backstory or anything whatsoever because these characters are from...
Right there. I know everyone totes came away from WandaVision desperately wondering what happened to Monica. The final log of this three-legged stool was Ms. Marvel, a character who starred in the least watched
least watched show, but I want to say we stopped at episode 3. We stopped at episode 3. I thought Villani, I think is her name, she did a fantastic job. And I actually said, watching that show, if it wasn't a Marvel show, if it didn't have anything to do with Marvel, it's like a coming-of-age like type of show for a character. I thought it was a really good show. I thought everyone in the show did a good job. I just wasn't interested because it was a Marvel show. And what they were doing, I didn't feel like it was a Marvel show. I thought it was a coming-of-age of a girl and her family. You know what I mean? And it was good, but it just wasn't a Marvel thing for me.
MCU show in existence. Aiming Kamala Khan at teenage girls, that's a fine strategy, honestly, provided that you don't invest too much in what is obviously a small market. Oh, looks like they spent over $150 million on that. Never mind.
Loki, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, The Falcon and Winter Soldier all cost around 140 to 150 million each across 6-episode runs, while WandaVision, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law came in around 225 million total. Whew.
Okay, well, you've got 3 characters who aren't extremely popular on their own, and there has been no groundwork laid.
Right, the only reason that Captain Marvel was popular and the movie did very well is because it was sandwiched between 2 of the biggest movies ever in existence up until that time.
To get anyone excited for them teaming up, other than, they're all women, so girl power. Originally slated to be the flagship for Phase 5, it was pushed off and included nothing in the way of the overall.
And here's the other thing, because people like to defend Captain Marvel. They're like, oh, no, it was good. If it was so good, why did it take them so long to make the sequel? If it was so good, why did it take them so long to make the sequel?
Phase.
Because that number's not real. Okay, opening night, my theater was sold out, and there was 20 people in the theater. It fit 325 people, and I'm not exaggerating. There was 20 people in the theater opening night for Captain Marvel. Right? My wife's like, well, maybe they all got sick. I was like, yeah, maybe.
This plot. It's a major entry into the cinematic universe, but it's a standalone thing, but also doesn't stand up on its own. We tossed in Ms. Marvel talking to Kate Bishop as an after-credits scene, so it seems like they're trying to go for teenage girls for this large franchise
of men
that has up until now been funded by guys aged 16 to 40. Okay.
I would say even bigger than that, Greg. I would say from like 16 to 55.
We hired a director whose previous work is very activist to make this action comedy. Okay. They had no plan. They didn't have the slightest clue who would want to watch this movie. But I guess they figured if they built it, someone would come. This multi-billion-dollar franchise seemed to suddenly shift gears and appeal to teenage girls, and they spent almost $300 million doing it.
It's a bold strategy.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. And it only made, what was it, 46 million opening weekend, which is a colossal fail.
Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I hope it works out for me. If I'm bold, just come right out, ask you to push the like.
Pro YouTuber move. Hit that like button for him. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit it for me as well.
Button. I don't even have any dignity left. You guys don't know what I sacrificed for you. All right, I'm back. I forgot a couple of things. 1, I put my popcorn mug down here in the studio. Totally forgot about it. This thing is awesome. 2, I bought this sampler of Cooper's coffee. Forgot about it down here as well. I'm drinking the Sumatra today. It's really dark. It's really good. This stuff is in the Amazon link. I have a little affiliate store. If you're going to shop there anyway, all of my coffee and tea purchases and my studio stuff is in there. And I think if you buy stuff, I get like 1%.
Yeah, I don't even think you get 1%. I don't even think you get 1%.
I predicted all of these things in videos last year. And in my final one, I thought I was making an outlandishly absurd prediction when I said that the Marvels would end up making $400 million. And I'm like, I know, that's hyperbolic. It's crazy low. Guys, I'm a
It made less than that, didn't it? It made like 240?
YouTuber. Sometimes I just say crazy stuff for the controversy. And then it actually made 200 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it was 200 million. Yeah.
Ouch, town population, you bro.
Don't know who your audience is. Make a poor.
But obviously, it wasn't because of bad writing, bad movie making, bad everything. You know the reason it didn't succeed.
Product doesn't make any money. That's so weird. A similar case can be seen in Madame Web.
Did Captain Marvel do poorly? Captain Marvel made over $1 billion, Jones. But while it was happening, there was many reports of people saying, my theater's empty, but yet they say they made $1 billion. We were in one of the theaters. Okay? Our theater was literally empty. There was 20 seats.
I'm not sure where you guys can stream this right now, but if you want some laughs and you already have that particular subscription, it honestly might be worth your time. For some strange reason, Sony has been trying to build the Sony Spider-Man universe, because everything needs to be a whole universe now, except there's just one little problem. There's no Spider-Man!
Yeah. I didn't watch this. I'm not going to watch this because I have no interest in that character, right? If you put someone I was interested in that movie, then maybe I would have watched it. Did any of you guys see Madam Web? I did not.
I want Spider-Man! They made a movie centered around a Spider-Man comic tertiary character who exists to exposit and drive plots with her future viewing powers.
So you're saying they misinformationed of the box office? Weird. They did a lot of stuff. That was also the time frame where Rotten Tomatoes stopped showing reviews. They stopped people from rating it. They what else did they do? They did a whole bunch of different things, Jones. And then people looked into it and they found out that the head of Rotten Tomatoes, the head of Rotten Tomatoes once worked for Disney and then left Disney and got the position at Rotten Tomatoes. And then when things were going wrong for Disney films, they shut off the actual bad things that were happening on Disney films on Rotten Tomato.
They can't even say Spider-Man or Peter Parker.
And it's pretty much been like that for the last 4 or 5 years for Disney stuff.
In this movie. Is the Spider person in the room with us right now? They can only suggest the presence of Spider-Man. These movies are spider-adjacent, spider-esque, if you will. They may or may not contain themes that are indicative of a web-slinging heroic figure whose name may or may not be Eater Pay Arker Pay. The villain his mouth and lines match up like an English Kurosawa dub. It's honestly kind of hilarious. But who was going to watch this? Sony really figured superhero mania would move this garbage. They even cast Sydney Sweeney in a genre mostly patronized by younger men, and then didn't show off her acting abilities.
Nice save, Greg. Nice save. Yeah, she didn't show off her acting abilities.
So we have a character no one cares about in a universe where you can't say the name of the only thing fans do care about, and we didn't even try to use basic sex appeal. Who was this for? Whoever.
That's the question. Who is this for? Right? We're not talking about, like, I didn't watch the movie, so I can't tell you if they were shit or not. All I can tell you now is these things all failed. And then you look at the market that they went for, and then you have to ask the question, who was this for? Because the people that they made this movie for aren't the people that watch the movies. So if you're not making it for those people, and you're not making it for the people that were interested in the stuff, because obviously they told you that you're not interested in that stuff, then who are you making it for? Is it a tax write-off? Is it just that you just made it? You're like, we just made it something, and it happens all the time. But it just seems a little weird that they get very angry because these things don't work out. And they tell you the reason it didn't work out is it wasn't made for men, and then men didn't watch it, so men are to blame. What?
Whatever it was, they're the only ones that showed up. It only made $100 million worldwide, which would be fairly respectable if the break-even point wasn't around $200 million.
Missed it by that much.
Oh, great show. Great show. Great cut.
And Sony can't catch a break. Last week, they unveiled another product for an audience that numbers in the hundreds of dozens, and that would be the PS5 Pro. The PS5 is the 5th generation of PlayStation consoles. Microsoft, you hear that? Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not hard. You're not clever. It's very annoying. For the 2nd generation now, Sony is adopting the smartphone model for their consoles. You didn't want to get the iPhone 14? 6 months later, how about the 14 Plus? How about the 14S Plus Ultra Mega?
Yeah, they're doing the Apple thing. They're doing the Apple thing.
Super. It's 3 grams lighter. For consoles, this actually does make some sense, or it used to. Computer hardware advances at an incredible rate, and each new console basically has entirely new software architecture, so they can't put out new consoles all the time.
Right.
Yet, chipsets are faster and cheaper. So what do you do if you are a PS5 owner who bought a console back in 2020, which had hardware that was contractually secured in 2019, probably 2018, but you want to take advantage of the latest advancements in graphic card and processor technology? Well, Sony figured you'd like a little upgrade.
But more! With just a little bit extra.
Unfortunately, the base model of this new console is 700 schmackaroos, and that is in America. For you islanders, 700 pounds, which is just over 900 freedom bucks?
I like how you said 900 freedom bucks.
And that's roughly the same amount of declaration ducats that converts to the 800 euros this will run the rest of you in the union.
That's crazy.
Wow. We're actually paying the least.
Yeah, imagine that. America is paying the least.
And that's just the
great cut. I like Greg's writing style, and I like his editing style.
Base model. You want a stand? 30 bucks. You want an external drive to play your game discs? 80 bucks. You want a pro controller to go with your pro console? 200 big ones. So at this point in the video, you might be wondering, what did Sony do wrong? I mean, gamers like to buy game consoles, right? How did they mistake their audience? Well, it is that price and the possibility of pushing their customers into PC gaming, which they might not return from. I was recently on stream with...
Hey, look! Oh, it's a different shirt. It's a different shirt. This is burgundy. That's red.
30 NSG, who phrased it quite well. He was talking about all the consoles kind of being on their own little islands. They've manufactured their own audiences. And he said Sony was on their own island with their own customers. And now, with this new price range, they're effectively creating their own competition.
That's right. I did say that. I said they were all on the same island, and then they all moved to their separate islands. Okay? And then because they're lonely on that island, that they're now trying to engage on someone else's island to make their own competition. It's like, why?
With gaming PCs. Some of you might not think that's true because you think, A, gaming PCs are wildly expensive, and B, the only thing to consider is the console cost. Both are untrue. Video game graphics...
Yeah, Greg was talking about this in our interview, okay? If you missed that, go check it out on Chatting With. I did not know that's cool. Thanks for the shout out, Greg.
Have been the most notable advancement in the console world for some time. Years ago, we had this. Now, we have this. But something PC players have known for some time is that the graphical quality is one thing, but the number of frames a game can render per second is also important and makes everything look much smoother. A few years ago, some console players learned that as well because the latest generation of game consoles can achieve 60 frames per second or more. And it genuinely is an incredible difference. However, in order to achieve that, the console has to downgrade the graphics a little bit. The PS5 Pro says...
Both is good.
But there's a wrinkle. Most console players use their home television.
Right. He brought this up in our conversation.
You're typically going to find an Xbox or a PlayStation in a living room or a bedroom played on a big flat screen. But those are designed for watching TV, which is usually at 24 or 30 frames per second. So if you're going to buy this new console and use it in the way most consoles are used, then you're going to need a new TV that will display 120 frames per second and has an HDMI 2.1 slot. And you're going to have to buy new HDMI 2.1 cables. Currently...
So there's a lot of people that do have the new TV, but there's a lot more people that don't have that TV. But there's also a lot of people that don't actually care or realize, and they just say what's on the box, if it says 4K, 8K, and whatnot. So a lot of people will buy that box, put it on their television set, and then realize that they're not actually getting what the thing's putting out because their television doesn't do it, right?
Pretty much only OLEDs and QLEDs are going to do that. You can find off-brand QLEDs for about $500. So for the average console user, taking advantage of the features of this product will require $1,200 bare minimum. At that price point...
Well, that's fine, Ford, that it comes with the cables. You still have to have a television to do it.
You are well into gaming PC territory. I did a quick search on Newegg for gaming laptops. All the convenience of a console and more than capable models can be had for $1,200 to $1,500, plus you don't need to pay extra.
Absolutely, Prosy. There's way more people that don't know what type of TV they have or understand what the hertz or the refresh rate is or any of that stuff.
For online multiplayer. The other issue is that Sony is not following the smartphone model by making the previous version cheaper. 4 years later, that original PS5 is still $500 US, and this new model is not signaling the price drop that you would expect for that old model like a phone. And the announcement for this new expensive hardware showed you how you could experience old games better.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do the same games that you already have, but better.
There are no new must-have games coming out that will take advantage of this new power, so Sony had to show off years-old games that you can, I don't know, I guess play again, but this time a little better looking. And I do mean a little better looking. This is from their own presentation. Here is the incredible graphical upgrade. Definitely seems like it's worth $700, right?
They're the same picture.
Another great edit.
So Sony made a product for customers who are serious about high-end graphics and high frame rates, but are casual enough to want to use a console, which does carry less hassle than PC gaming.
Sure.
And have $2,000 or more for a console and a TV. Where are these people?
Right, and that's a great point. That's a great point. Just like the movies that he's talking about, just like the whole video he's talking about, who is this for, right? We're not saying that the PlayStation 5 is not going to sell, but we're saying, why bring this out, and who is this for, right? Before they announced this, people were playing the PlayStation 5, and the same people that spoon-fed themselves, right? They're like, oh, I love that stuff, right? The pony people that love to protect themselves, just like the Xbots like to protect themselves, okay? They were saying, they were so excited that the system that they bought is a much more powerful system, and it's the greatest system known to man. And now that they've announced this 3 weeks ago, now this choppy box, okay, is inferior to the brand new box that you're like, who is this for? Because the people that are already in your system are like, I'm happy with the box, right? The keeping up with the Robert Joneses, I'm just joking, keeping up with the Joneses, right? There's going to be a small percentage, even though the report even said that they're expecting 1.5 million consoles being sold from now to, I think it was March, okay? And the entire run of it until the next PlayStation comes out, they said by 2029 or 2030, they said they were going to sell 10 to 12 million units of PlayStation. And then they showed the chart, which the PlayStation 5 / PlayStation 5 Pro will sell less than on the same path as of right now than the PlayStation 4, right? So you're like, why are you making this box for the smaller percentage of people that overall? Because the people that were already on the PlayStation 4 weren't coming over to the 5, and it wasn't because they were waiting for the Pro. They were waiting because the price of the Xbox and PlayStation are too expensive at $500. So the majority of the population's like, I'm not switching. Okay, now the Pro's out, and everyone was probably, again, excited because they thought, like Greg's saying, that it was going to go the Apple route, where they were going to lower the price and put the new one at the higher price, and then more people would buy it. But that's not what they did. Now, maybe Sony is going to do that later, but right now they're waiting for the majority of the people that are interested in the PlayStation 5 Pro to buy it at that price, and then they'll lower it down the line, perhaps.
That's an odd blend of customer, right? And Sony's own numbers revealed this. Earlier this year, we learned half of PlayStation players are still using the old generation PS4, which hit markets a decade ago. I guess they don't care about graphics or load speeds.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
The launch video also revealed that 75% of PS players favor frame rates over graphical quality, and I'm among them. I don't notice the lack of water reflections, but now that I've been to the 60 frames per second mountaintop, I can't tolerate the choppiness.
And that some people can't do that anymore. I personally can. I can play 30, I can play 40, 50, 60, 120. I don't get nauseous, I don't get sick or anything like that.
30 frames anymore. And Sony is kind of signaling that this is obviously the future of console gaming and its prices. So they are pushing their own customers to look into PC gaming. They are encouraging their own competition, and also they can maybe capture this tiny market of rich console gamers who demand top-notch visual performance. Par for the course, though, because they also just spent $400 million and 8 years of development on this game.
No, that's false. That's false. Sony didn't spend $400 million on that, right? Concord spent $400 million. So the game itself cost potentially that much, but Sony didn't put $400 million into Concord.
That was so poorly received that they issued full refunds and announced its cancellation just 10 days after it launched. Look, I enjoy PlayStation. I have for some time, obviously, but What is happening over there? But since we've talked about movies and video games, how about we end with a video game movie?
Oh God, he's gonna talk about Borderlands. Ugh, what a shitty movie that was.
Borderlands. Oh, Borderlands.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Borderlands is the Concorde of the movie industry. That's the game that I was showing a few seconds ago. A product that is aping what everyone else is doing with almost nothing to distinguish it, years too late, and carrying a massive price tag. That is Borderlands. They spent 110, 120 million plus marketing. Let's just call the whole package 200 million for ease. It grossed 32 million worldwide.
Yeah, it was bad. $32 million worldwide.
And they only keep half.
Sarge said it was going to make 18 total.
Of that, by the way.
He was freaking close.
The theaters get the other half. So they made $16 million on a $200 million investment. How could they have known it was going to flop, though? Well, let's see. It bears zero.
This is another question. Who was this for? Who was this movie for? Because it wasn't for the video game aficionados. It wasn't for the Borderlands fans. It definitely wasn't for them because they changed the story. They didn't even cast the correct people for it. So who was this for? Was it for Borderlands fans? Was it for the audience that didn't know about Borderlands? Like, who was this for?
Zero resemblance to the game that it shares a name with. The most glaring example is Roland, a 7-foot-tall super soldier who is super stoic. Some of the comedy in the game is based on how socially unaware.
Yeah, look how tall. Look how tall Roland is. Okay. And then who they casted.
And awkward he is because life is always war and war is hell and he's super serious about it. Naturally, they cast Kevin Hart for that role. The tone was completely off. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about these games with one interaction. In the second game, you will meet a man who...
Shoot him face. Yep. We just saw this a couple weeks ago when we played, right? We showed it on screen. And shoot me in the face. Do it. Do it. Shoot me in the face.
Wants to be shot in his face. He is shouting about how much he wants it. His name is Face McShooty. And you are given a quest to shoot Face McShooty in the face. That quest is called Shoot This Guy in the Face. And you do. And his head is... it's gruesome. And you get a reward! That's the game. The list goes on. This was never going to attract anyone who played this game for more than 7 minutes. So there's that audience gone, and the good word of mouth they might have brought. For normal audiences, well, the trailer definitely scared them away too. Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis looked bored and confused even in the trailer. Jack Black sounds annoying, and the girl playing Tiny Tina is clearly playing someone who is acting like what they imagine the word psychotic sounds like. I did watch it. I rented it because it's already for rent, and...
we watched it for free. And I still regret it. I watched it for free, and I regret my time. I hated it. I watched it in 1.5 speed. Just so I can get it done faster.
Like, I know we say things seem like they're written by AI now. That's a pretty common complaint. But this time it's really true. This is the definition of content. They had so many tropey lines that you've heard in other movies. You in what army? The one right behind me. I'm a bounty hunter, not a babysitter.
Can I just say, I would rewatch this whole film if Greg did the dubbing for it. That would be much more interesting. Greg, if you watch this after, if you make this entire film and you just do the voiceover just as you're doing right now, I would watch it again.
I'm getting too old for this. Guys, you're not gonna believe this. Those are all actual quotes from this movie. They did a found family thing, they did a noble sacrifice thing, they did pee-pee humor comedy. It is seriously the most generic movie of all movies because it's an amalgam of every movie. They also rated it PG-13, so the planet full of, bloodthirsty, murdering...
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. Murderers on a planet, PG-13.
Psychos had no blood and only implied murder. Just imagine the tone and humor and content of Deadpool, but make it PG-13. And instead of Ryan Reynolds, they cast Stephen Wright. That's the Borderlands movie. This had no audience, and that is exactly who went to see it. As I've said before, I am excited to see this crap fail, whether it's an established franchise.
The fact, Jones, the fact that the movie is still on YouTube and they haven't removed it tells you all you need to know on how bad it is, because they know they ain't making any more money from it.
That takes the original fans for granted and thinks they'll stick around no matter what crazy direction we take the.
It's lasted longer on YouTube than it did in the actual theater. I'm just saying. It's lasted longer where it's breaking the law being on YouTube, okay, than it lasted in theaters.
The franchise in, or a company that thinks you'll buy anything as long as the package says new and improved on it, or a soulless product that is the result of cash-grabby trend chasing. When they crash and burn, I'm right there with graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate. The entertainment industry will provide us quality entertainment, or they'll die not trying. What are some recent garbage fires?
I want to rewind and let him say that again.
Marshmallows, and chocolate. The entertainment industry will provide us quality entertainment, or they'll die not trying. What are some recent garbage?
Exactly right. Their job is to make entertainment. Entertainment. Not to preach or whatever. Make entertainment, make me forget, make me do stuff, make me go to the movies, make me rent the movie, make me play the game, right? If you keep putting shit products out, I guarantee you, okay, shit products, not anything else, shit products will make you go bankrupt, okay? If you notice, I didn't say DEI or SBI or anything like that. You make a bad product, we will not see it. We will not watch it. We will not play it. Plain and simple.
Fires that didn't know their audience and warmed your heart with the flames of their failures? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I'll see you next time.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, go watch the interview that we had. Got to know Greg a little bit more. We talked about gamings, movies, life, YouTube. We did it a couple weeks ago. I think it's about a month ago, I guess now. Yeah. So, very cool. Yeah, who are they making this stuff for? Right? I know some of you will come in here and think that because we're talking about the PlayStation at that moment, that we're shitting on the PlayStation and shitting on PlayStation fans. That's not what we're doing, right? We're talking about things that they're making for people. And it's like, who is it for? You make a piece of gear, you make a movie, you make a show, you make, a phone, whatever it is. You want to hit the biggest market possible. But it doesn't seem like that's what they want, right? It seems like they want the smallest possible and then charge the most. I don't get it. Well, you guys understand that the 30 frames per second is because of the television sets, right? When the system switched over. Like Nintendo back in the day was 60 frames. When we were playing on CRTs, those were 60 frames per second games. Right? But then graphics and technology went to the next level, and they had to stop it. Hence why they put on the television set when you play a game may cause seizures because of the frame rate and type stuff. Okay? Because of the frames per second. Then now, as technology got better, then they can make those 60 frames again. Which is funny, because Nintendo was 60 frames, and then now the Switch is 30. Maybe Sony's fishing for console whales? I mean, I've said what they know their market. They know their clientele, Hilly, right? They know their clientele, a small percentage of the overall player base was going to buy the VR2 headset, right? Now, the fans will tell you, oh, it's selling like hotcakes. If you call 600,000 units, or less than 2 million for that, it's the Portal was 600,000 in America anyway, right? If you call less than 2 million selling like hotcakes, so much so they stop production, and then when they deflect and defend the Portal and say, oh, well, that's selling like hotcakes, and then that sold less than 1 million, okay, in the States. Obviously, delusion and actual facts are two different things, right? You can say that you like the Portal. You can say that you like the VR2 headset. But the facts are that's not selling well. They know they're not selling well. Hence, why they know their market. They're like, well, what percentage of people will give us an extra $200? Well, they paid for a controller, Pro, whatever, for $200. So let's see if we attach a screen to it, what percentage of it. It's all testing, right? Oh, a certain percentage of people pay for the VR2 headset. Let's test the market out, right? So they know that if they can't get more people to buy the systems, they have to have the same people that bought the systems. So look at the VR2 headset as consoles, because it's $50 more than the actual console itself was. So if 2 million bought it, that's technically 2 more million people that could have came over to PlayStation and bought the console, but instead they got $550 from people that were already in the ecosystem for PlayStation. They know their market. They know their clientele, right? I'm not upset with them. They know their clientele will buy the same stuff. They know their clientele will pay an extra $10. They know their clientele will pay an extra $80. Oh, yeah, Sin. All we wanted, I remember as a kid, when Nintendo just came out, and then I would play a game like City Connection. Okay? City Connection, which I forget what the name was. It's City Connection on the console, but I forget what the name of it was in the actual arcade. But City Connection was a little... Here, I'll show you. Let me... Right? This was City Connection. Okay? This was an arcade game, and the arcade was awesome. Every time I used to go to this place called Grand Prix Racerama, okay? It was an arcade off of I-95, right in Fort Lauderdale. My dad would take us. They had a go-kart track and an arcade, and we would go play. This is one of my favorite games when I was a kid. Okay? I hated that goddamn cat. Okay? And then they announced that this game was coming to Nintendo. And I loved it. I was like, oh my God, it's that game at home. I loved it, right? Excite Bike, all those other type of games. That was the thing. Taking a game from the arcade and bringing it home to play it was amazing. It's amazing. The good old days. Billy says, someone somewhere is playing on a Portal while wearing the VR headset, running off the box in the same house. That dude is buying the stand. 100%. 100%, Hilly. Yeah, but Akuda, that's how Nintendo was, right? If you were a Nintendo fan, you were buying the Duck Hunt bundle, right? To use the gun. You were buying Robbie the Robot. You were buying the VR headset back then. I forget what the thing was called. The shittiest headset ever made by anybody. You're buying the Power Glove, right? You are buying the stuff. There's no difference in what Nintendo does and what Sony does. That is the market of consoles. To get the same people to give you more money. Because it was a small niche back in the day. Sure, there was 8 million people or 20 million people that bought a console. But how do you get more money? Well, if it's not going to 22 or 20 or 30 million people, then you have to get the same money or more money from the same people that already bought your stuff. Robert Jones says, if the PlayStation 5 Pro dropped 2 years ago, you told me Destiny 2 ran better on it, I would have bought it. This is what happened from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. Actually, not even. From Destiny 1 to Destiny 1 on the new console, right? I played Destiny on the old console, and then when it went to 1, that's when I purchased it on the 1, I believe, right? Or was it 1 to... When was it? Yeah. Wasn't it? It came out... Didn't Destiny originally come out on the 360 and PlayStation 3? And then it moved to the 1? And there was like small small little increments of stuff, right? Like you went to the moon, and if you're playing on the 360 and you looked up in the sky, you wouldn't see the skybox, you wouldn't see the space station up there. But then if you got it on the one, you could look up and see the space station up there. Right? Yeah, just buy it, right? It came out, and then as soon as they announced the new system, I was like, I'm gonna get the new system, and I'm gonna buy Destiny again because it's better. It's better. It would be the time frame, and again, I would like to say, because CRTs were still, when I was in college, they were still there, because I remember I had a gigantic CRT television set. Took 4 grown men to carry it. I'm trying to think, it was like 2002, 2005 era. So I would assume the PlayStation 2 still did the 60 frames. And then probably the PlayStation 3, Xbox One era probably is what switched, or Xbox 360 era is where they switched. That's right. People bought cardboard from Nintendo. People bought cardboard from Nintendo. Let's see. So growing up with the PC, 30 FPS was like a cake to me. Even in the early 2000s, it was just a dandy. When did games running at 30 frames start turning off some people? Nintendo Switch frame rates and resolution. Let's see if this gives us 30 frames, 60 frames, default frame rate, video production, gaming, and historical technical. Okay, film standard, 24 frames in 1920s. Standard television, 60 hertz, 20 frames. Display technology. Does it say the year, though? CRTs. Yeah, CRTs, television and monitors were designed to work optimal with these frame rates. Processing power. In the early days of video games, hardware limitations made higher frame rates difficult to achieve as a 30 frames per second became practical standard to offer performance while ensuring visual quality. Motion perception, research in human perception, 24 frames can create a cinematic feel, while 30 offers a smoother motion for television. 60 frames provides even smoother motion and preferred more fast-paced content. It doesn't say the year, though. Yeah, it was just because of the technology of the television set, like when they switched over from the CRTs into... There's like the plasmas, LCDs. Dolphin says last 2010s. Right, Argus. Until they switched over to the panels. And then technology was pushing gaming graphically, right? So they went down. And I said the same thing is going to happen again, right? So people right now, we're getting the 60 frames per second. But gaming in the next 5-6 years is going to switch to cloud, right? Well, the latency is going to be bad even with it. So it's going to go back down to 30, I think, until they... Because that's how they're going to market stuff. And then they'll charge you down the road of, well, now you can pay at 60 frames per second. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to be. Make the problem, sell the solution. Well, the burn-in was terrible. I used to do a lot of convention work, Ray. and especially when they're doing like PowerPoint presentations and stuff. So you would have monitors inside the convention hall, and they were all plasma, and then they would run the same slides over and over for days and weeks and months or whatever. So it would get burned in. Same with that. What would happen is that people that would rent for like their shows. So if a show was here for like a week, and let's say it was a PGA event or something, you would go to the PGA event. The booth would have the same profile up on the screen for 3 days straight, 10 hours a day or whatever, and then you would take it down at the end, and then when you put it back up for the next event, which is like a day or two later when you're setting it up, and turn it on, you would see the burn-in of the last conference. It was bad. Correct. Right, so you wouldn't have seizures, and that's why they have to put the warnings and shit on it. Oh, I don't know why. You said ARM Gaming. Yes, 2 days ago we were supposed to look at this. I wanted to show you guys, was it GameStop? I think it was, I want to show you what they're doing for VR headsets now. Yeah, here it is. Do they have video of this? I think they have video of this. So GameStop has this new chair, okay? It's called the Roto VR Explorer. So while you sit in this chair, okay, it'll spin around. The Roto Explorer is an officially endorsed, made-for-Meta product which transforms the seat VR experience with heightened immersion through haptic feedback and looking to turn technology, okay? It's $800. $800. Here, I'll just go to YouTube. Introducing
a totally
new way. No? All right, let's play with the it won't
new
I can't click on this. Fine. What is it called? Roto? All right, hold on a second. I hate watching it through there. Okay.
Introducing a totally new way to play with the new Roto VR Explorer. Enhance your play with look and turn technology, creating smooth 360-degree movement for never-before experienced VR immersion.
Kid broke the chair. I'm sold. Construction simulator and VR headset, done.
Fully adjustable rumble pack, creating dynamic vibration through your whole body.
Through your ass.
Don't just play the game, be part of it.
Mom's killing me.
The new Roto VR Explorer. Game like never before. Made for Meta.
$800 for a chair that just spins. And it's got a sensor that you put on top of your headset, which makes it, so when you turn your head, the chair turns that direction. Seems like you want a seatbelt. My son, first thing he would do on this thing, okay? As soon as he figures out how to turn, he would just do this and just make the seat do this. Come on. Come on. You know that's going to happen. 100% that's going to do. It's like a sit and spin. It's like a sit and spin. It vibrates too. That's right. Oh, 100% brain. They will replace the motor with a stronger one and then sue the company. Does it come with the chair? It is the chair. The headset doesn't come. You're only getting the, I don't think it comes with the chair, head tracker, AC adapter, and basic cable. Yeah, it doesn't come with the headset. $800 is just the chair. Does it have a warning? Keep your hands in at all times. No. It's the chair itself. It's you're buying this chair. It's 2 feet, 10 inches tall. I think they have a bunch of chairs now like this. Like this is the new thing on the market. I'll take this one. Here, hold on. I'll take this guy. You give me this chair. I want a thing that immerses me completely. You give me this thing. I want a thing that looks like a scorpion that can murder me. Right? That's an evil villain chair. That's like Bezos. I think Jeff Bezos sits in a chair like that. I think we've learned a lot today, chat. We've taken you on a really broad range of stuff on this Thursday daily grind, right? We went over epic technology for Fortnite and what they're doing with the Unreal Engine, with lighting, and the technology of the characters. We watched Redneck Harry Potter and Redneck Jurassic Park and Star Wars. Okay, we've talked and watched Greg Owen talking about who is this for? Like, who is this for? We've done a lot today. Gone over a lot of stuff. All right, if you like it, if you liked any of this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live streams Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We do podcasts on Thursday night tonight, Generation X Gaming Podcast. Weekly podcast goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We do gameplay. Last night we played Borderlands 2. We finished out the main campaign with Sarge and Akuta Papa. We do that on Wednesday nights when we're not doing a podcast, which is called Chatting With, which I did with Greg. I also had Chato on and Jay Shockblast and Miller, right, and Kingard and Ginger Prime. So you can go check out those over there as well. And then we do gameplay. So we are going to have a stream tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning around 10:30, 11 o'clock or so. I'm going to go live. We're going to play some more Shattered Space, probably finish out the DLC for that. I appreciate you very much for coming out, hanging out with us. Again, if you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member. And I'll see you guys. I'm done for the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.